Yes. I'm a newlywed. Sally made me an honest man for the 6th time. You'll be. Yeah. Not much of a honeymoon, but anyway. You'll see it on YouTube for those that are following it. And interestingly enough, I just read through 20 or 30 comments. I didn't know that you get to approve comments on YouTube. Yeah. Kat just showed me that. I approve everybody. I don't give a fuck what they say. Now some of you probably give a shit. But anyway. So I was, and these are some of the things that you idiots. Why don't you do more podcasts? Why don't you read more chapters of your first 100 million? Read them quicker. Not quicker with my speech, but more often. Fuck Trump. He's not a presidential material. Carson. I'll bet my left testicle that guy's black. And his handle is BJ at the rap dance or some shit. No wonder I never read him. And she says it would be nice if I would comment. I said, fuck him. I don't give a shit. I would comment him. And then I told her, you can comment to all of them. Go fuck yourself. Every single one. Well, she won't do that though. Well, you can't. No, but this is why, as we said in the first seminar, it is, there's been several studies done now because Facebook's been around long enough that how social media, and we went over a couple of the studies briefly in the seminar that show that it leads to mental illness and all kinds of stuff. And that 40% of time for the millennials is spent on social media. And between 40 and 60% of the time you have employees, it's spent on social media, internet that has nothing to do with your business. 40 to 60. You say it's not me. And if you think you're virtual guys, that you're not watching, it's probably 80%. We make them check their cell phones when they come to work. We block social media on the computers. We have cameras, and we've had people and the cameras swivel. Okay, now if the camera, even my cousin, if the camera's swiveling and he notices it's swiveling and you smile at the camera, then he turns on porn, knowing the camera's on. Knowing the fucking camera's on. Then he denies it. When we do the snapshots, whatever you call it, and when we have his hearing for, his IR, what's IR stand for?
Incident report.
No, when we write somebody up for doing something bad. Incident report. Okay, incident report. No, that wasn't me. The picture's not. That wasn't me. It must have been somebody that, and you can get away in the Philippines saying this, they all look alike. But, and that sounds awful. Okay. And you want to know why the world's fucked up. You want to know, but the thing that, I don't do it anymore, but a couple of years ago, when I had, when I couldn't sleep, I'd get up at 3 a.m, I'd turn on the deal and I'd be viewing the offices with the cameras, and they hear the fucking cameras swivel. And they still do it. So if you think you're virtual employees, I don't know what you're smoking. I don't know what drug you possibly could be on to think that when nobody's watching, they're better. Sally, when I was just leaving, I said, this is how college professors used to dress when I started college in the early 60s. This is how you dressed. They used to wear vests and a watch, and they used to wear a fedora, and and then Sally says that's when they were proud of what they did. It's all different now. I remember I had a stat teacher, a computer science teacher. They used to call Dr. Dave. He was the most liberal guy we had. He went to Berkeley, as I recall. And Dr. Dave was the first guy not to wear a coat as a professor. And of course, all the students gravitated to him. And he would help sit down with the students and say, this is what you ought to take. And credit fail was just a brand new thing in the early 60s. You could take a class, either you passed it or you flunked it. And no grade. And Dr. Day would sit down with you and explain, now, you're kind of thick. You shouldn't take this for a grade. You know, he'd sit down, he'd go after school and have a beer with the students, and his little congregation would be there. And now, I would presume that most of the professors are like that. But when I've talked to my children when they were going to graduate school and undergraduate school, they don't sound too professorial to me. You know, they just want to be your buddy. You know, hang out and of course then you're the manifestation of that when you get out. For those of you that are older, that's not true, but certainly for those of you that are younger. Again, thank you for joining Sally and I at our renewal of our vows. It was interesting to hear the minister, Brian, say it's the first time he's ever married the same couple twice in his 40 years or so of doing this. That was an interesting comment. Today we're going to finish up the non-business school cases. And we're going to do role play. We're going to make some calls. Chris is going to have a webinar for the people that watch this afternoon. Yeah. Okay. Somebody forgot to tell Chris, but he dresses like that all the time, so it doesn't matter. And then starting tomorrow, we're going to work on the business cases, and I'm still reviewing the big case, and I'm probably going to give it to everybody. To see everybody, meaning all 5 groups. And we need your thumb drive so we can put on the extra information. So Kim's going to be here, I believe, after the break to collect some thumb drives so she can put it on so you've got the information. Any questions on anything? I left some of you watching that movie, Man High in the Castle, about the Germans and the Japanese winning the World War II. I don't care about, well, I do. If you have any comments about that, but any comments about anything else? Okay, YouTube, we'll talk to you later.